Zelda Invictus. Tormented by a madwoman, hunted and hounded in her flight, Imperial Princess Zelda seeks time to heal, refuge from her own mind, answers to questions that she can't even form. Amidst all of this, a darkness is rising, unbeknownst to all. A force gathers that would see the world undone, all life snuffed out in a heartbeat to suit its craving for power. Prologue. Long ago and far away. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful princess in a beautiful palatial castle. Her family was wonderful and loved her very much. The lands all around were filled with wondrous things. She filled her time with reading and any number of little projects. For all of this, though, she had still wished for one thing more in her life. Be careful of what you wish for. Oh, you're the best friend that I ever had. I've been with you such a long time. You're my sunshine, and I want you to know that my feelings are true. I really love you. Oh, you're my best friend. Zelda was rushing. She didn't want to be late. She couldn't be late again. Not that being early was any better, since that could look as if she were trying to rush Perdida. Perdida's voice rang out through the rooms. Come on, hurry up! Let's go! You're making me late! Zelda cringed internally, feeling even worse now for having wasted the time and attention to think about it, when instead she could have now been that fraction of a second closer to done. Move it! What the fuck always takes you so long? Zelda wandered, the faces of strangers changing before her eyes to that of Perdida. She'd awakened, still hearing or smelling her, reaching over to cuddle. Perdida was never there, though, and so she'd shiver alone, staring into the night, into the darkness, wishing to change what had already come about, what no longer was, craving oblivion, the release of death or insanity. Neither ever came for her, and so she kept on for miles, for months. Memories played themselves out unbidden, over and over. They'd crop up for no reason, overlapping and mingling. One would unreel, and the next simply occurred seamlessly as she watched, even though without transition, more real, more present than her surrounds. Other times, they sprang upon her, triggered by the most innocuous events. She could still hear the laughter, feel the warm presence in the good parts. Those were no more welcome than the pain, as they served only to torment her with what was no longer within her grasp. What had never, in fact, been the case to begin with. She was peripherally aware of what happened around her, but it was all distant, unrelated to her. She lived in these memories, even as her body occupied the world beyond. Maybe something happened that forced Perdita to spurn her, or she'd been coerced. Perdita was surely just testing her, or this was all some nightmare, or she had died and this was hell. She clung to these thoughts over and over, but her second and third thoughts knew better. She wasn't talking to them, though. They offered cold facts and probabilities. No solace there. Until she comes again, the sun goes out and night comes in. The time goes round and day grows dim. Until she comes again. And with her step I move my feet, and with her hand I feel my skin, and with her need I find I'm saved, and with her dreams I'm laid. I can't be saved from my wounds. Her first night, she had simply run. She hadn't stopped running all night, other than to walk, and begin running again as the fear caught up with her. Morning found her exhausted, hungry, thirsty, confused, terrified. A welter of emotions played through her that she didn't understand. She walked through the day, afraid of stopping once she'd seen an early edition of the newspaper. The headline proclaimed her dead, going on to claim that an impostor had escaped and was sought for questioning. She made her way through some smaller towns, not even seeing them as she stumbled through, holding herself tight within against moments of panic when in markets or small crowds. That evening, exhausted, she crept into a culvert to hide for the night. She hadn't eaten all day, nor the night before. They'd been about to eat dinner when Perdita had said that she was leaving, laying into her for topping from the bottom. She hadn't eaten since lunch the day before, and that had been a light lunch, rushed through at work. There was a trickle of water, but it was filthy, and she couldn't bring herself to drink it. She only sat there, staring out into the darkness, uncomfortable on a pile of unidentifiable wet detritus, a chill draft at her back. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, something I don't remember. Her voice hitched halfway through, and trailed off as she realized that she no longer knew the words. Perdida had hated the song, and so she never sang it anymore. She hadn't sung it aloud for years. Perdida said that it was ridiculous, sappy garbage by someone who couldn't stand on their own, putting all of the load onto the person whom they claimed to love. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. This time, when she reached the end of the stanza, she simply began again and again. She lost count of the number of times that she mumbled her way through the first verse. To long for death, but it cometh not. Eventually, she drank the culvert water